And we're live.
And with YouTube, actually, there's a 20-second delay, so it'll just take us a few moments, one way or the other.
We got Herb Garber, Debbie. Kid.
Oh, okay.
But Judy looks so happy. Ruth, you can't make it later. Michelle is there. Yeah, just,
And with YouTube, actually, there's a 20-second delay. And this is odd. Up on YouTube, Jonathan and Josh have a Star of David behind them, but now back in Zoom, they don't seem to. So
Yeah, right.
that's peculiar to me. But
I think if you put it, what you can do.
but here we go. I'm going to put folks on mute. So hopefully we've put everybody onto mute. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. This service, tonight's Kabbalat Shabbat, will also have elements which will feature the upcoming celebration of Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israeli Independence Day. And to sort of get us in the mood for Israeli Independence Day, we have really an extraordinary special treat for you. One of my favorite songs, which is done in our synagogue, Hey Artsenu, Ered Moledet, which talks about our link back to the land of Israel. And with the help of technology, we're all in for a great treat. Let me share my screen for what is our opening hymn, and I think this should work.
Hey Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. Hey Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. Ronu, Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. Hey Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. La 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 la, it's my la 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 la. Hey, Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Hey, Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. Ronu, Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu. Hey, Artsenu, Eretz Moledet, Ronu, Ronu, Ronu.
So, Linda, thank you so much. That was just beautiful. You've changed again. We're going to continue now with Hadlakat Hanerot, kindling the lights of Shabbat. I'm going to let's see if I've unmuted her. Ruthie Holt leads us this evening in candle lighting. Ruthie is sort of, at least in mine, she's sort of. She is more than a passing shadow.
I put the candles as close as I could, but you can't see, can you? All right. Am I being
Yep, we're all set for you.
okay? All right. So be it. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. I apologize for the mishap. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, I wish you could see the light. Oh, here it is.
Baruch atah
Adonai,
Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
I mean, thank you, Ruthie.
You're welcome.
We are going, for those who are following along in our prayer books, in the Siddur, in the Mishkan Tefillah, I'm going to bring up a shared screen momentarily. It's page 138 as Linda leads us in Lecha Dodi.
And this is a very popular Israeli tune. It's actually a kind of tango. So if you feel in the privacy of your home that you want to start dancing, please enjoy and celebrate Shabbat for all of us.
But we may see you on the screen.
Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat, Lechadodi Lekrakala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat, Lechadodi Lekrakala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat, Shamoy v'Zachor v'Diborecha, Ishmianu El Hamyichak, Adonai Echad U'Shemo L'Shem Tiferet Ve'Litila L'Chadodi L'Krakala Pnei Shabbat Nikabila L'Chadodi L'Krakala Pnei Shabbat Nikabila L'Krat Shabbat B'Kum V'Kelcha Ki Mechor HaBracha Me'Rosh Mikedem Nesuha Sof Maaseh V'Machshavat Tehila pnei Shabbat nikavila. Boi v'shalom ater bala. Gam b'simcha u'tzola. Tov emunei am sigula. Boi chala, boi chala, boi chala. L'chadodi l'krat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikavila. L'chadodi l'krat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikavila. Shabbat Shalom.
On page 144 is the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadav, Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrachu Te V'amlik Malchute, B'chayechon Uv'yomechon, Uv'chayedek Chol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uv'izman Kariv, V'meru Amen. Yeheshemei Rabba Mevorach Le'alam U'Le'maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yiromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yithalal Shemei Dekudesha Brihu Leila Mincho Bechata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'meru amen.
The Baruch Hu is found on page 146. For those who are able, we do invite you to rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed.
We read on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, and thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars and their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai.
HaMacharif HaRavim.
And I read on page 150. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. The Ve'ahavta will be found on page 154. We join together with Linda.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alavavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibartam paham v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha b'derech ushokbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leho taliodecha v'hayuletatafahot beinenecha uchtavtam amizuzot betecha uvisharecha Luman tiskeru v'hasitem et komitzvotai v'hitem kiroshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. I'm not hearing anything, Rabbi. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't hear me, but I could hear you.
Oh, okay.
Page
Okay.
158, Micha Mocha.
Ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim bum mi kamo ha batim madonai mi kamo ha netar ba kodesh no rati loro sepele no rati loro sepele ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim bum ma harahu vanecha bokeh hayan lifnei Moshe zeli zeli anu ve'amiru Adonai lo le'olam amen ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya bum bum bim bim bum ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim bum ya da 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 ya bum bum bim
Sure, Leah. And I'm just going to put everybody back on mute with the exception of Linda. And now I'm going to put us back in our service to page 160. I'm reading towards the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai hapo'eh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. On page 162, Yismechu is the second paragraph down on the page.
Shomrei, 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 shabbat, v'korei honech shavu, The Malachutaha, Shomre, 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 Shabbat, Vikore, Onem, Shabbat, Yisrael, Malachutaha, Shomre, 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 Shabbat, Vikore, Onem, Shabbat, Zecher, Limase, Bereshit, Shabbat, Zecher, Limase, Bereshit, Shabbat, La, 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 Yisrafu, the Malachutaha, Shomre, 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 Shabbat, Vikore, Onem, Shabbat, Yisrafu, the Malachutaha, Shomre, 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 Shabbat, Vikore, Onem, Shabbat.
We now turn to page 164. For those who are able, will rise for the tefillah.
Adonai sifata tiftachu v'yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Hahel Hagadol Hagibur Bahanara, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdevot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magein, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Abraham, V'Srat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol et Avrav Lehoshia, Mekakel Chayim Bechesed, Mekayei Hakol Berakamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'Rovei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunatohu, Vishenei Afar, Michamocha Bagivurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayei, Umazmi Al Yeshua, Venemana Tali Hayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikayei HaKol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. A pandemic is just that, ubiquitous. The impact is felt by all of us, yet each person also faces her or his own circumstances with individual as well as communal apprehension, if not pain. Our response must take several forms, including nourishing our souls through study and prayer. May the source of life, the author of each of our souls, extend the blessing of shalom, of peace and peace of mind for us and for all. That is, for a world that shares in the ubiquitous challenge before us. We sing Shalom Rav for abundant peace at every level. It's found on page 178, and I again share our screen.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Otahu Melech Adon Lekol HaShalom. Ki Otahu Melech Adon Lekol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha livarech et amecha Yisrael. V'chol עת ובכל שעה משלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. And we take this moment now for silent prayer.
עושה שלום במרומו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל. 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 יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל.
In the ritual of counting the Omer, the Torah has us count the days between Passover and Shavuot. Each year we remember a journey that begins with freedom and culminates in understanding and obligation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who makes us holy through commandments, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom shisha asar yom shehem shnei shvuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 16th day, making 2 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Today is also Rosh Chodesh Iyar. Now, given our program and constraints of time this week, our Torah service returns next week and with a special reader. Tonight, though, I nonetheless want to mention this week's Torah portions, Tazria and Metzora, which are from the book of Leviticus. They present policies to protect people from an earlier pandemic, tzara'at, a type of terrible contagion affecting the skin or spreading dangerous mold-like spores in houses or on garments. This isn't easy reading, Tazria Metzora. Parts are grave and ominous, parts are poignant. During periods of calm, the text often felt remote from life in Connecticut, let alone a suburban childhood. I used to tease the kids who got these portions for their B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies, say Kyle Berkowitz or Ali Rubenstein or Nathan Fry or Mitchell Britton or many others, that their task in reading Tazria Metzora was harder than their peers. It was no small feat to make this ancient material relevant. But nowadays, we needn't be so concerned. In the portions, we see the Kohen, the priest, acting as a type of dermatologist and public health official, examining and at times quarantining people. In so doing, the focus was to prevent panic or hysteria and to safeguard the population. As the text indicates, there was no moral judgment against those who became ill, but rather an opportunity to welcome back into the community persons who were no longer infectious. Such processes to create measures of safety and to assure human dignity are now strikingly relevant. For at a moment when and where our national debate has become the balancing of individual autonomy with communal health, we are taught there's a specific moral responsibility to the larger whole. So too, remember the role of the Kohen, the priest. We are instructed of the need to solicit and heed the judgment of health experts. The sage Ben Bagbag counseled of Torah, Hafachba, turn it over and over again. On this Shabbat, Tazria Metzora, may we have little trouble avowing wisdom at once contemporary and timeless. And may we find ways to foster community and belonging, even when we must be spaced apart. And as we think about health, each Shabbat we pray on behalf of our dear ones within and beyond our congregational family who are ill and in need of healing. We voice the hope that they might know comfort and support, that they are not forgotten nor forsaken. And tonight we add into our prayers Devorah Malka, Bat Esther Rivka, Panina, Bat Esther, and Ruth, Bat Avraham V'Sara, Joyce Hoser. And I will unmute and invite you at home to say the names aloud of those for whom we pray this Shabbat.
Robert Selwitz.
Charlotte Berman.
Ron Saunders. Kim Lee.
Catherine
Haywood.
Adline Isaac.
Were we already unmuted? I think we were.
Diana.
Who's that? Sure.
Thank you, and I will mute us again with the exception of Linda.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before bless those in need of healing with refuah shalomah, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And now I'm unmuting Hadar Lubin, and sort of as an introduction of Hadar this evening. Hadar is an American Israeli. She's a member of our congregation, an IDF veteran, a Sabra with roots going back to Israel's pioneering families. Her day job is that of a psychiatrist specializing in traumatic stress, running an institute with her husband, David. An after-hours gig is to be chair of our IAC, of our Israel Advocacy Committee. Tonight is the Shabbat closest to Israel Independence Day, to Yom HaAtzmaut. And I've invited Hadar for what you'll see is an informal conversation with me. And given the circumstances, the topic is contemporary. The recent weeks in many societies and nations offers something of a mirror, reflecting ourselves and our values. And I've been deeply impressed with what I've read and I've seen in how Israel has been coping with the COVID-19 pandemic. Hadar, I would invite you to begin by offering some of your views on Israel's response.
Yeah, I think that, and I saw that Ruthie is partaking in today's service, so I'm sure she will concur with my perspective that when Israel encounters an external threat of any kind, be it in the borders in a form of war, be it in its land in form of terrorism, or being invisible as the contagion, the coronavirus, the response tends to be quite united and quite communal. There is almost a complete consensus that everybody has to partake, and even though the idea of staying at home to protect oneself, I always felt, both when I grew up in Israel in the context of wars, and now from hearing from my family and from my reading, that yes, you do stay at home, but what you protect is the community and the communal experience of really being together, united against whatever threat Israel encounters. And you feel it in every aspect of life, be it through those who are supposed to respond in the healthcare professionals or the police officers, but also of course, the scientists, but also the citizens and everybody in the community participate in some way to contribute to that effort.
And Hadar, sort of a number of things really, as you say, everybody is sort of pulling together. One of the things which has struck me has also been how the leadership, and whether that's been medical leadership or whether that's been parts of societal leadership, and with some notable exceptions, but how the leadership has done that as well. And so amongst the things which I've been sort of seeing, telemedicine. Some of the folks may have seen, we did this as an uplift here for the synagogue a number of weeks back now, it probably was, about how Israel has organized telemedicine. And so that somebody will drop off a kit at the house of a person who has been diagnosed with the infection, and how inside the kit is everything necessary to hook up with a physician remotely and to follow each and every piece of the symptoms. That so struck me for its practicality and its ingenuity. Additionally, let me just list 2 or 3 others. The Sheba Medical Center is working now with NIH on blood samples and on plasma. We've been reading as well how the Mossad, Israel's intelligence service, helped to coordinate the response. And not that they were doing like super cloak and dagger stuff, but they helping to organize the response with a leadership role for doctors and health experts. And Israelis agreed to essentially a tracking system in terms of tracking who might have the virus and who they would come into contact with, which is far more intrusive than anything which we have here. There's such robust purchasing of equipment. And it seems to me that there's a great sense that no one is being left behind, and that the society is right there. So I'd ask you, Hadar, your sense of that.
Yeah, no, I always sense that in the context of a threat in Israel, you take Israel in any other time, there's so many opinions and so many ways of doing things, and there have been so many perspectives to be held. However, when it comes to really the reason any kind of an external threat, it doesn't take long to organize the entire country to be behind the effort of keeping everybody safe and everybody well. I've seen it numerous times. It does not surprise me this time, but it is unusual for all of us to experience the same kind of threat in all over the world. And the way that Israel responding is very effective, in my opinion, and also very collective. There is a sense of a communal urgency to, not that in other places there is no urgency to respond to it, but there is no friction around it. There are no any kind of question as to what we need to do. There is a collaborative effort. And so you gave, Rabbi Samid, examples of how different sections of the country, the government, or the medical, are everybody partaking in it. I just saw it. I'm sure maybe other congregants or yourself has seen it too. That there is a unit in the military, elite unit in the military, that actually just came up with an invention of a ventilator that is 1/16 of the price that a ventilator cost. And they spend days in and out to really, until the COVID epidemics, they didn't know, a pandemic, I should say, they didn't know what even ventilator is, because they are military people, they're not medical people. And within the last month, they came up with an invention of a ventilator, which, by the way, FDA approved it, so it will come to use here in the United States as well. That is about under $5,000, and usually ventilators are much more expensive, as we know. So there is this kind of urgency and collaborative effort in all aspects by everybody, regardless of what your area of expertise are. So everybody has a role, and everybody is behind the effort for everybody.
And as you have said that this has happened before, I immediately, the mind went, for me, it immediately went back to the Gulf War. When Israel was under attack, and everybody had to have a sealed room and have masks and all sorts of extraordinary precautions. And the whole country came together and did precisely that.
Yeah. Yeah, in a very short period of time. Yeah. I think
So-
that, excuse me for interrupting, but I think that in the context of, highlighting the importance of social isolation and social distancing, it really highlights the importance of the communal perspective, how you maintain a sense of community while you actually stay away from the community. And all of this in the effort of preserving it. And I think that I see it very regularly in Israel under those kind of situations. Actually, it's kind of funny. This is the first time in 10 years since we had a unity government. So even the government that is polarized, they decided, presumably because of the COVID, to become unified in order to make sure that they respond to it in a way that will be the most effective way.
And as we think about this this coming week with Yom HaAtzmaut and the 72nd anniversary of the modern state of Israel's independence, what is Atzmaut? What does independence sort of, do you think, means in this context?
Well, I think that for me, my understanding is that normally the word independence, it has also the reference for our human development. You become an independent person as you distance yourself from your family of origin. You become an autonomous being, and as a country, become a sovereign being. And what I particularly value in Israel, that even though the independence is the most important part of it, what really is being celebrated is a sense of community. So paradoxically, you don't become autonomous, you become a part of a larger communal circle. And I always felt it, and I know those of you visited Israel during this time, definitely Ruthie, who lived in Israel for many years, knows that the day of Yom HaAtzmaut, it's a really celebration of the community. And for us being independent in a sovereign country. But it is the community that celebrates it.
And I think that there's a lesson here for American Jewry as well. When we think about community and there's something about Israel this way, which also speaks to the entirety of Jewish history and the Jewish experience. To sort of quote the sages, al tifros min hatzibur, don't separate yourself from the community. Mm-hmm. And so so much of what is the modern miracle, in which I think we take so much pride in, is the fact that identity is both autonomous individual, but it's also as part of a community. And ensuring the welfare of the community is absolutely necessary for the individual as well.
Absolutely.
And so for us in America, sometimes I feel, hopefully not to be too much of a broken record, but why is it so important that we have community? Why is it so important that we have an organized American Jewish community? Why is it so important that the American Jewish community is so interlinked with Israel? And it goes right back to, I think, what is the sense of what Atzmaut, independence, really has to be.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Hadar. This was great, and I think that everybody thanks you for a week off from a sermon.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, but thank you.
So just what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask those who are able and wish to rise. I'm going to put us back to the screen share for the Aleinu. The Aleinu will be found on page 508 86. For those who are able, we rise as Linda leads us in the Elena.
Aleinu l'shabeach lahadon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויית הברצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591 for the Ne'emar.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
And prior to Kaddish, we now call to mind our own beloved dead. This Shabbat, I ask that we note the deaths this week of Celia Gordon, aunt of Susan Pinsky Bleeks, of C. Simmons, the dear friend of Ivel and Ron Kovner, and Robert Olzaki, father of our friend, Superintendent Joel Olzaki of Region 14. During Shiva, we remember Shirley Berkovic, sister of Lionel Schwartz, sister-in-law of Celia. This Shabbat, we remember the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Mitchell Backen, Edith Efren, Harry P. Horn, Mitchell Hoser, Adeline Isaac, Herman Lester, Ann Oblas, Ray Oliveira, Ann Paley, Toby Perlman, David Rubin, Stephen Scharf, Philip Schwartz, Lillian C. Spire, David R. Trorig, George S. Whale, Ethel Weiss, Francis Winland, Carlos Yellen, Henrietta Zakin, and Samuel R. Zetzer. And should you have a dear one to add, I will now unmute us all so that you might add their names.
Oh, I feel good.
Ira Goldman.
Eric Hall.
For those who are able, we invite you to rise. I'm going to put us on mute as I lead us in the mourner's Kaddish, which I am about to, momentarily I will have back up on our screen. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah b'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mavarach le'olam alalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam levracha, may their memories be for blessing, and let us say amen. I ask that we remain standing, and we are going to be turning to, you're going to see me clicking through a few pages towards the end of our prayer book for Israel's, for Hatikva, the Israeli national anthem. Here it is, page 678 at the bottom. And let me unmute Linda.
Ufate Mizrak Kadima Ayin Letzion Ufia Otlo Avdati Patenu Hatikva Bashnot Apayim Liotam Chofshi Be'atzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liotam Chofshi Be'atzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Rabbi, you are muted. We can't hear you.
Thank you for letting me know that as I was singing along. Linda, thank you for your beautiful music this evening. It was just lovely. And that special Hey Artsenu at the beginning.
That was for you, Rabbi. That was for you.
I appreciate it. I really, I do. Ruthie, thank you for candlelighting this evening, and Hadar for your insights, and thank you for speaking tonight. We're going to go, I see the person in the first box, but I'm going to go ever so slightly out of order this evening. And Catherine is about 3 or 4 boxes down. Catherine, if I could ask you just to wave to make sure everybody is seeing you. Actually, let me just unmute you for a second. There it is, and have you say Shabbat Shalom so everybody can see your face.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Okay, and now I'm going to mute you again just for a second. And so here's the thing. Months ago, Catherine Albee had selected today to be the day of her official embrace of Judaism and the Jewish people. And we scheduled today for her conversion at the mikveh with a Beit Din, with a rabbinical court, to be followed by the ceremony held tonight in our sanctuary. For obvious reasons, there's been a delay in this timeline. Still, we wanted to make this evening memorable for Catherine, and at 8:45, she'll begin to see how. We are so fortunate to have Catherine in our midst, and hopefully very soon officially sealed within our Jewish people. She comes to us a skilled professional, a model educator, and dedicated classics teacher at Westover. Catherine is highly educated, doing her graduate work at Tulane, where coincidentally, she had a clerical job in the Jewish Studies program. Back in 2016, as the new faculty advisor to Westover's Jewish students, the Jew Crew, she first reached out to us. In 2017, Catherine joined our Torah study. Serendipitously, she also began to learn of her Jewish roots and has discovered she has 38 Jewish relatives. Catherine studied more. Now already mishpacha, family, she's more than prepared to be confirmed as amcha, as a member of our people. What a contribution she will continue to make. She's thoughtful and steadfast. She's insightful, smart, without being a know-it-all, open and extremely kind. She's a daughter and sibling, a friend, an active presence, and she's often on Zoom nowadays with her dog in her lap. Catherine shared with Westover about her conversion, quote, "It's not a place I'd have seen myself 5 years ago, 15 years ago, certainly not when I was your age. However, after years of trying to figure it out, I finally found the place where I belong," end quote. And she advised her students, actively search for the thing that is right for you. In so doing, Catherine has renewed us as well. But why this date? It's also Catherine's 50th birthday. She thus sought for one major milestone, a jubilee, to reinforce the other. Amidst the delay, we can nevertheless wish Catherine a Yom Huledet Sameach, a very happy birthday. And as her rabbi, I offer Catherine this blessing. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you as you celebrate your Jubilee this Shabbat. May the Holy One bless you and prosper your deeds. May this be a time of love and special joy. Baruch atah Adonai mevarech hashanim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses the years. And let us all say, Amen.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
And
Congratulations.
congratulations. Take a look into Pauline Zimmerman's box.
Okay, hold on. I've got it on. Pauline, make a noise so I can find you guys.
Let me do that. I've just unmuted Pauline and Alexis.
Hi, happy
Oh,
birthday.
thank you. Thank you.
You're so
Happy
welcome.
birthday.
We love you.
Love you guys too.
So Catherine, let's be just Shabbat Shalom. Tell us about your day and your week.
My day was very, very quiet, actually. Spent most of my day at the computer and answering emails and just getting things wrapped up for the week. But had a good week of teaching with my girls, even though at a distance. It was still, we're so lucky to have the technology so I can see their faces and hear their voices, even though they're not right in the same room with me. So, and spent a lot of time cuddling with the dog today. So yes, it's been a good day. Not the day I had planned, but a good day.
Good. And Pauline and Alexis, Shabbat Shalom. Tell us likewise, how are you guys today?
Shabbat shalom. We're good.
We're good.
Happy birthday, Catherine. Happy special one.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Be safe, everyone. We love you and miss you all.